This is the desired effect. If you notice when we put the cursor here in the very first frame and we hit the tab key, it'll tab all the way down through the contents and then it'll jump over to the notes side. And then as you tab down, it goes all the way down. And then when it gets to the last note line and then you tab it, it'll go over to the content area. If you notice, you can see it right here. And then it goes down on the content area and then back up to the note side. And then as it goes down, all the way down, all the way down. Then when it gets to the next page, it's not going to go over to the note side, it's going to go over to the content side. So even though the note side is on the left-hand side, you noticed that the tab now, the cursor, is on the right side, and then it jumps over to the note side. So basically what's going to happen is when it's on the note side, it's going to tab down and always jump to the contents and then up to the notes. All right, and then of course, if the note side is on the left-hand side, of course, it'll just drop down to the content side. So that's what's happening. So we have to set this thing up so that in tabbing order, it'll go through the contents, then up to the notes, down the notes, over to the content side, whichever side it's on, then up to the notes and down. So basically what's going to happen is the last tab on every page, wherever there's a note section, should be coming off of the note side. All right, that is the desired effect. That's the desired effect. And now I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, here's the best way to do this. Again, of course, unless of course you may find another way to do this. But the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure all the note frames are all together. So if we go over here to the panel on the right hand side, and we're dealing with what is page 17 right now, actual document page 17, you'll see that right here, and you'll see this right here, page 17. So now if you notice, if I tap here on what is note 1 underscore 15, it's actually not at the top, it's right behind the tab, the actual frame that's on the other side. So the first thing you want to do is you want to keep all the notes together. And the best way to do that is to, okay, in this case, I'm going to put your finger on the command key so you can skip over whatever might be there. All right, and then I'm going to start by pulling one up. So you get 1, 2 there. All right, then I see 2 and 3 together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my finger on the shift key. So I select them both, move them up underneath there. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, however many I can get together, and just pull them up so they're all together. So that's the very first thing you want to do, is you want to get all of these notes together so they're all in one, and they're numbering, they're advancing from 1 to, I believe it's 32, all right? So we do this, so I'm pulling it up, now I'm down to 18, going down to 25, there's a cluster of them together. I'm pulling them up. Then I'm going down to 26. I'm going down to 32. So I got them all right now. So now I'm going to pull them all up so they're all together. All right. So now I have all of my note frames together. All right, going from 1 all the way down to 32. All right. Next up is what I want to do is I want to make sure that the notes, because the live content has to be tabbed to or has to be accessed first, the notes have to follow them. So what I'm going to do now is, since all the notes are together, I'm going to tap on note 1, put my finger on the shift key, all right, go down to 32, and then I have them, you can see they're all selected here, and they're all selected here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my finger, I'm tap on it, and drag it down until it's at the bottom of the content. So when I release it, you'll notice that what's at the very top is actually the live content being, this pronounced blah, 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 1 p.m., blah, 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 going down to unidentified, and then goes over to the notes. So if we preview it, you'll notice that when you come off of, when you come off of a tab, all right, let me see if this one is going to do it right. Yes, hits this, hits that, and it goes down on the live content, and then it jumps over to the notes. All right, and that's what has to happen from from at the end of every note, it has to drop over to the live content. Now, in this situation, when I hit the tab key, you'll notice that it goes over to the note side. But we needed to go over to the live content. So what I'm going to do is, let me just bring this back here. So I'm going to, when I get over to edit, all right, and if you notice, I'm going to tap on this to see where it is. And as you can see, the notes section is at the very top. Well, again, what we want to do is put all the notes together. So I'm going to just, that's step one. Get all the notes together. So I'm going to just grab this, okay, in this example, put my finger on the shift key, go down to, looks like it's note 21, 16, bring that up underneath there. All right, then I'm going to go down to, 22, going down to 32, all right, bring that up underneath 21. So now you can see they're all in succession. So I'm starting here at note 1, going all the way down to 32, okay? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to tap on note 1, put my finger on the shift key, bring it down to 32. So I have, and you can see it's all highlighted on the left-hand side. Then I'm going to take that and put it underneath the live contents, but before the next page. So that now what's going to happen is the live content is at the top, these 3 items right here at the top, and then the last one at the bottom is the last note line, which will go over to the next page. And as you can see, just by the visual, you can see that's wrong because the top of that page should have live content. But this one is correct, and we just fixed because the live content is at the top and the notes go down underneath it. And if we preview it to see if that works, remember when we first hit the tab key, it went over to the note side, but watch what happens now. It goes over here to live content, live content, live content, and then jumps over to notes. So this is how we have to do this throughout the entire, through all of those pages. Wherever there is this note set up, you want to keep the notes together and you want to put the notes at the bottom so that this way the live content will always be at the top, and that will be the first thing that the user will tab on when they come from the previous page with notes on them.